But one of the most terrifying people listed in Virginia's book is a former prime minister of a nation. In Virginia's deposition, she is asked, "If you're confused by a question, you need to let me know so I can clarify the question, okay?" Okay. For example, if I asked you the question, were you sexually trafficked to a foreign president? Do you understand what that question means? Yes. What does it mean? Was I lent out for the purposes of sex to a foreign president? All right, what is the answer to that question? Yes. Virginia describes this man in legal documents as, quote, a well-known prime minister. She says, this was the most violent man that she has ever witnessed. Quote, he wanted violence. She describes as how he would choke her until she loses consciousness, only to bring her back and do it all over again. It's like he took pleasure in her fear for her life, in her begging for her life. She says, horrifically, the prime minister laughed when he hurt me and got more aroused when I begged him to stop. I emerged from the cabana bleeding from my mouth and down there. She says for days it hurt to breathe and to swallow. She said it was the most terrifying experience of her life, that she got on her knees afterwards and begged Epstein to promise her to never send her back to the prime minister ever again. She doesn't know if Epstein owed this man or was in fear for this man or what, but instead of promising to never traumatize her like that ever again, he just coldly says, yeah, you'll get that sometimes, referring to the violence of the prime minister. Virginia writes, Epstein cared only about Epstein. She says the prime minister's assault was so bad that, quote, at that point, I hit bottom. I now knew I wouldn't survive. I saw only two possible options. Either someone Epstein trafficked me to would kill me, or I would self-exit. She details the second time that she's sent to service the prime minister on Epstein's private jet. Virginia says, I didn't know it then, but my second interaction with the prime minister was the beginning of the end for me. In the book, the prime minister is unnamed, but it's not because Virginia does not know this man's name. She says, while we need to be brave about naming our abusers, we must also protect ourselves. There are certain men who I fear naming. She says, for the prime minister, I know his name, and he knows what he did to me. I fear that this man will seek to hurt me if I say his name here. There are two guesses online about who this former prime minister could be.